fresh air with new kicks on it. The Crack King Podcast. A breath of fresh air with new kicks on it. The Crack King Podcast. A breath of fresh air with new kicks on it.
You know, the scene where she's in the cabin and you know, back in the woods. Apparently they threw something in there, maybe like a Doctor Strange Easter egg. They made it look as if Doctor Strange was going to meet her.
This is the Crack King from the Crack King Podcast, and we're here with a review for Loki Season 1, Episode 4. It's called Nexus Event. I got my boy Mike Check with me. How you feeling, Mike?
What's going on, everyone? Yeah, Mike Check here, MCU expert, connoisseur. What's going on, Crack?
Agent A23, Renslayer. It's more of her backstory than Sylvie to me.
Yeah, it's a good little mashup. Like you said, it's a backstory, but it wasn't too much. So I'm happy with that. We just needed enough to understand what's going on. Again, supposedly it's just 6 episodes. This is episode 4.
Yeah.
So let's not spend so much time on certain things. But yeah, we got that backstory on both of them. They got a little history together.
Yeah, no kidding. A major history.
Yeah.
Comic book origins. I had to check this out. It was Princess Renslayer was in Avengers 23.
Okay.
And in that, she was the Conqueror's girlfriend then.
Oh.
Fast forward to Lamentus. We see our heroes locked in death in classic Disney fashion, but weirdo style.
Yeah, it's very, very Disney to see the two fall in love in utter chaos, imminent death. But ultimately, that little connection they had right before their doom caused a Nexus event, which we see later on in the episode. We kind of get what created it. But I don't think we were too far off on our theory from last time, is that the TVA were going to spot them somehow and grab them last second, which is ultimately what happened.
Apparently, when you try to fuck yourself, it causes a Nexus event. I have Nexus events every time I masturbate.
No, that's I guess they subtly explain that later on in the episode. Yeah. Basically, Loki actually cares for someone.
I thought it was Thor that he always cared about, though.
I almost, for a second, me and my son were watching this, and I said, Thor's about to swoop in and pick him up. That's too big. Too big.
That would be fucking dope.
I guess my next theory was that where they were at, they were not supposed to die. And because they were about to die, that created the Nexus event. You notice how the rubble was coming to engulf them, and they had a steep, branch headed straight for Redline. And so my thought was, okay, they're not supposed to die for whatever reason.
It was a lot of hinting at backstories, but never showing. I really wanted to get into B-15's backstory because she seemed really upset about that.
You just like the B-15.
I can't front. I do have a thing for B-15.
It's necessary. I think the scene with her and Sylvie, for me, that was enough. Again, there's some stuff that you can just quickly explain.
It was enough. It was enough.
It was enough. Yeah. It was enough. But they escape, and so they're back at the TVA.
They're back at the TVA with the space lizards, and we get some much-needed Mobius. I was almost missing him to death. And then he comes, he saves the day for us. But I think he was just a little bit too nosy, man. He became Loki's friend, which at this point is not a bad thing right now. Only at the TVA does he tell the truth.
Yeah, well, I mean, considering what he initially thought the TVA was, And in this episode especially, the way it weaves, it's like there's so much revelations going on that we forget that Loki, no matter what's happening, even in the face of death, is still going to work at his master plan. Yeah. I think I said it in previous episodes. It's like when he doesn't die, he doesn't feel any consequence.
Yeah.
So it's like, he made it. So no matter what, in the back of his head, he's going to do what he has to do for himself. However, but the fact that, he was almost going to die and that, that love connection with Sylvie created a Nexus event that kind of shows you some vulnerability on Loki's side, too.
Yeah, he's showing a lot of goo eyes when Mobius was interrogating him. It seemed like Mobius was almost outthinking Loki when he told him that Sylvie was dead. You could see him tear up, and the heartbreak or revenge like we're used to seeing in Loki, it was more like heartbreak. Like he was so sad that a piece of him was dead and that he can't play with himself anymore.
Yeah, he was definitely doing a good mix of the good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
I think for me in this episode, it's just a show, but the fact that Mobius clings on so much, he's always letting Loki get that. You got anything else to say before I send you to the time prison? And it's like, Mobius, if you really didn't care or you were ready to close this case, just prune him.
You'll zap his ass.
He's holding on. He's holding on. And that's what leads into his revelation about the TVA.
Then the OMG moment, Mobius gets pruned or zapped, I like to say.
Yeah.
Helping Loki escape and realizing the truth of the TVA, that they are evil.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get the biggest OMG moment of the episode, the timekeepers. And for some reason, I always knew they were going to be bullshit. But when I've seen them, are they taking this shit seriously or what?
I was holding out hope for something grand for their entrance. And so earlier in the episode, they give us a little sneak peek.
Yes.
And then later on, we really see them. And so with the little sneak peek in the beginning, I thought that would be it for the episode.
Yeah.
And then later on the episode, they actually meet with them, and it's like, oh man, it's so quick. It's happening so quick.
Yeah.
A lot of reveal so fast. And so, I lost faith in that grandeur that what they were going to be. But of course, now that even leads more to the whole Kang the Conqueror theory.
The Conqueror is coming.
Because now we know timekeepers don't mean shit.
No, not at all. I was scared that after we got the big reveal and after that epic fight scene where Loki and Sylvie match wits and fisticuffs with the TVA best agents, that when they found out that the timekeepers were fake, that he was going to be like in the back, all comical, like the Mandarin. You know what I mean? All like shivering and scared. Or I'm glad they didn't go that way. And all roads are leading to him.
Yeah. Well, my hope is that if they use this show to reveal him, that it's not until like the credits scene of the last episode.
Yeah.
I only want a little bit of it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, we were expecting something from the timekeepers and it just failed. I mean, they were nothing when you look at it. And so is the TVA. It's all what it seems like. It's becoming more of an illusion. Again, we have so much MCU to look forward to. And if Kang the Conqueror is the next big bad guy after Thanos, then, for my hope is that we just don't rush into it. But it can a little bit.
Most definitely, because I would love to see the Conqueror on Thanos level scale of villainy. The way I took the whole episode, it was really a transition into the multiverse of madness. I read from a source that Mike Waldron has taken over the writing for the movie that they're already shooting. They got rid of the director and they put him in. So
really, I didn't read that.
Yeah,
I knew that they were shooting.
Yeah, and now it's a massive rewrites, which Disney is known for this.
The franchises with big continuity. So I wouldn't be surprised if Disney, pulled a move like that, and that might have something to do with the change in the WandaVision episode.
Yeah, it's all setting up. I feel like this whole Loki series or mini marathon is just setting up Stranger's movie, or I don't even think Spider-Man, but so another OMG moment of the episode, Loki gets pruned.
I did not see that coming. That was the biggest one for me.
Yeah.
In the end credits scene, but not to get too far ahead. Yeah, I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah.
I was thinking that I was so wrapped up. I think I told you earlier there was not big action in this episode, but it was a lot of reveal and so for me, I was kind of on the edge of my seat, more so because there was a lot to take in, and they just got rid of the timekeepers real quick. So it's like, now what? And that's, I think, where that scene left us is like, okay, Loki and Sylvie, they got what they wanted, and it wasn't what they expected. So now what? The only thing next they could do is create the Nexus event, which was to be in love with each other.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, he gets pruned. I didn't even see Renslayer go down. I knew that she was fighting Sylvie. Yeah. I knew Loki was handling the other hunters. But I didn't. I must have. It was a quick thing, but she took her down, and I thought that was it. And up until Loki got pruned, I remember thinking, like, what? Where did Renslayer go? But of course, she didn't go anywhere, and she pruned him.
No.
That was crazy.
Well, I thought she was going to kill her, but she said she needed the information, which brings up another question. Does Renslayer really know who? I mean, yeah, in the comics, we know she was his girlfriend, but you know how Marvel MCU is. Does she really know what's going on, or is is her mind wiped to a certain extent?
Mm-hmm. Well, we look at the sad moment for Sylvie in the elevator.
Yeah.
Sylvie has been on the run since she was a child, just jumping through space, and that's the years in the making plan that she had talked about. And Renslayer, I think she was being honest when Sylvie asked her, what was my Nexus event? What did I do to deserve this?
Yeah.
And Renslayer says, I don't know. Or she says, I don't remember. So, to me, it seems like, yeah, especially if Kang is involved, she's had her memory wiped to an extent. But she definitely doesn't seem like she forgets where she came from. You know what I mean? As far as being in the TVA. Well, to remind you, we had our first end credit scene on this episode.
Yes. And we got to see different Lokis.
Yeah, that tripped me out. Well, so then it makes me wonder what really happens when you prune someone. I thought that was the ultimate deletion.
Spoiler alert. You're not deleted all the way. I don't know, but because we had like 3 or 4 different Lokis. I seen old school Loki, which was played by Richard Grant, and that was the one that was talking to him, saying, "You're not dead yet." So is it like a limbo or something? Like we
Does
don't
it
know.
Happen to everyone that gets pruned? I mean,
yeah, that's what I love really about this particular series. Loki is, I don't know what's going to happen. Even with WandaVision, I really didn't know what was going to happen, but I really didn't care. So this Loki series is making me really care about what's going to happen to these characters.
Yeah, I mean, the WandaVision was very, you know, not otherworldly, but you know, it's just very magical. We were dealing with beings with powers, and but at home. And then you had the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Well, you have super soldier serum, but overall they're very human in nature, and it was more human. You know, again, still at home, but now we're dealing with the cosmic side, which is really tying things, you know, into the whole MCU. So yeah, you know, there was like 3 or 4 Lokis in that scene. It was crazy. The one kid I love, me and my son liked it because we had to stop and rewind it. I had to look. The kid Loki is holding an alligator.
Alligator Loki.
So I was like, is that his pet or is that another Loki that just is an alligator?
That's another Loki. That's alligator because there's a comic where there's Frog Thor.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Well,
yeah, that's an actual Loki.
Animal Planet type.
I was really quite taken with that. I was like, wow, what is that? Is that a Black Thor or like a Loki Thor type of thing? However, who knows? It's so many universes. It's so many universes. We don't even know.
It gets crazier and crazier.
It's wide open right now, man.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it. I'm not even gonna lie, man. I'm really excited about the next episode. I don't have no predictions, and I don't even want to investigate anything. I just want to be surprised.
Exactly.
And like my boy Sean P say, just let my inner nerd just fucking come out. This is the Crack King from the Crack King podcast, and that's my boy Mike Check. And we're here with our review and discussion of Loki Series 1, Episode 4, Nexus event. And we're looking for
a breath of fresh air when it kicks on.